Mariners lose in extra innings 3-2 in game 1 of the ALDS. My name is Chris Crawford. We go live after every single game, whether we want to or not. My buddy Anders will be joining us shortly. He went to the game tonight. He had a firsthand view of one of the most disappointing losses of my entire life. For those of you who are new to the show, this is the Mariners POSTCAST. Again, we go live after every single game, and we just break down today's game. We break down what we saw from the starting pitcher. We break down what we saw from the offense or lack thereof. We break down some baffling decisions from the manager of your Seattle Mariners. We really appreciate you joining us. We really understand that a lot of you are going to be upset, and I see a lot of comments right now. I'm going to do my very best not to swear. I can't guarantee anything. I cannot guarantee anything, but this is a brutal loss. This is a brutal loss, and you can't help but factor in what you have tomorrow. You lose to Troy Melton and a bunch of relievers that I wouldn't want. I'll take Will Vest, I guess. Kyle Finnegan, The rest, hard pass. And you score 2 runs. Now guess what you get? You get to face the best pitcher in the American League. A guy you've beaten twice and now have to beat for a 3rd time, and there's a very good chance you'll have to beat him for a 4th time now. If you don't think that factors into what we're talking about, you're high on goofballs. You are high on goofballs. There's so much to talk about. We'll start with George Kirby's start, but we'll talk about the managerial decisions. I think a couple of them that make 0 sense whatsoever. And we'll talk about the fact that this offense just wasn't very good, minus 2 players. Really, minus 1 player. But let's start with the start. I thought George Kirby pitched well today. George Kirby made 1 mistake, and you know what? A little bit of that mistake I'm going to give on Big Dumper or whoever called that pitch. Outside of 1 fastball inside to Kerry Carpenter, I thought George Kirby was fantastic. Why are you going there 3 times in a row? Why are you not trying to bury a pitch with 2 strikes down? Why aren't you doing that? Why aren't you? And the umpiring wasn't great tonight. Guys, the stuff I looked at suggested that pitch before the pitch was a ball. And for those who missed it, Kirby just misses, or may have gotten it. It depends on what thing you're looking at, but the stuff I was looking at suggested it was a ball. Just misses by a little bit. And then with a runner on, with you leading 1-0, you leave a pitch down the middle of the plate. And Kerry Carpenter owns George Kirby. Owns him. As Josh Noah Harris says, I think the terrible pitch sequence, back foot slider, get the K in the win. 100% agree, Josh. 100% agree. I don't understand why you're going fastball there again. I just don't understand why you are not attacking him with the breaking ball. Kirby had a good breaking ball today, too. A really good breaking ball. I hated that. I hated that so much. But overall, George Kirby pitched more than well enough to win. Let's talk about a decision involving George Kirby, though, okay? Kerry Carpenter has a 600 OPS against left-handed pitchers. A 600 OPS against pitchers. And I didn't think anything of leaving Kirby in at the time, okay? I didn't think anything of it. I want to make that abundantly clear. This is not me first guessing. I thought, oh, you know what? Starter's going. Maybe you could have gone to a southpaw, but I get why you wanted your lefty or your righty who has not given up a run the entire game. I didn't mind it. What I did mind was, so he gives up the homer. He gives up a single to Riley Green. And then he gets a pop up to, I think it was Dylan Dingler. Is that the 6th hitter? You guys can let me know if I'm wrong. But when I saw Caleb Ferguson come out, I lost it. I absolutely lost it. Why are you taking him out there? And guys, I apologize for the yelling. I'm really upset. I love this baseball team, and I want to see them win a World Series. And today was a day that should have gotten you closer to that, but some terrible offense and some terrible decision-making cost you that chance. So I'm just apologizing right now for the yelling. Sorry. I'm sorry. Why are you not going to Ferguson if he's going to not pitch the next inning? That is horrific management. That is mismanagement. It makes no mistake. Or makes no sense. It makes no mistake. Guys, I'm barely in this. I'm barely in this. My God. Oh my God. Why? Why? I'm serious, guys. If you have a good reason for that in the comments, I am more than willing to listen. And I sure appreciate everyone showing up. Explain that to me. Explain that to me. Oh, Rob doesn't have to cry more. He's just going to get blocked from ever being able to use this channel anymore. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. You put yourself in the position. Mighty Pat and a few of others' thoughts on the ump today. It was bad. It was a bad. I'm just used to it now. I'm just used to it. Yeah. And as my good buddy Spinning Wheels points out, for those listening on the podcast, the mustache is gone. Oh, but I'm serious. If anyone has any idea why you think that's the right decision, Tyler Manning asks where Anders. He will be joining us in about 2 or 3 minutes, I think, give or take. He was at the game. He's got to get to his car. There's a ton of traffic, all of that stuff. So, yeah, that is the situation there. Let's just finish off with the pitching before we thank our terrific sponsors for tonight. I thought Ferguson was fine. I think Bizzardo for a third of an inning is a little weird, and it ends up hurting you. I thought Gabe Spire was fantastic. I thought Matt Brash, the command wasn't great, but the stuff looked good. Andres Munoz did not look great, but gets 2 scoreless innings for you. Carlos Vargas. I have been a Carlos Vargas. I have not been as supportive as Carlos Vargas as a lot of people have. And I understand why you're going to him there. You know, you're hoping for the weak contact. You're hoping for, just a quick inning and hopefully you can go score a run. This is where I think the Brian Will injury hurts you the most. Because if Will is starting for you game 3 or even game 2, or heck, tonight, you've got someone like a Bryce Miller or a Logan Gilbert to pitch in that situation. Nope. You have to go there. And, you could argue maybe Hancock instead, but I understand that you're going with the reliever who has more experience in that situation and has had some good moments. The leadoff walks. My good buddy, Dennis Fletcher. I've known Dennis for, gosh, how long have I known you, Dennis? 20 years now? Leadoff walks. Sucks. It really sucks. But Carlos Vargas just flat out wasn't good enough tonight. And I will point this out, though. If you have a middle infield with more range, you make those plays. You at least stop that ball from getting into the outfield. Anders, this was a terrible time to join because I'm just about to go. Like, couldn't have been a worse time, but I'm so excited to see your face that I'm not going to be mad because I have to go to commercial now.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
Well,
that's fine.
No. Give me your 45-second spiel on your thoughts from this game.
A couple bad decisions from the manager. A couple bad. I mean, you got 2 players got hits in a bullpen game. 2 players got hits today in a bullpen game. Okay, 2 players. That's
4. It's 2.
2 players got hits in the bullpen game, and those 2 players were awesome today. Cal and Julio were fantastic. Julio looks up for this. Cal looks up for this. I love the at-bats he was taking. But the rest of the lineup, man, like, you weren't facing that much today too. Like, and you're gonna face something tomorrow. Let's be real here. And now you're staring 0-2 in the kitchen. So I was listening earlier. You've already talked about the decision. I completely agree with you regarding Carlos Vargas. I do have proof that I said I would have gone to Spire before Kerry Carpenter came up. Sure. Kerry Carpenter's 5 for 11 with 5 home runs against George Kirby.
Yeah.
Not only does he hit George Kirby well, he only hits home runs against George Kirby. And it makes no sense. And I love your point of if you're going to take George Kirby out in the next inning, why not do it earlier? And then burning Bizzardo is an underrated part to this.
Yeah. That's a great point too. I stick with Ferguson. Stick with Ferguson in that situation. I have no issues with it whatsoever. We'll talk about the offense in a sec, or lack thereof. We'll talk about maybe an unsung villain or unsung hero from this game. But very quickly, but very passionately, we're going to thank our sponsors. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Locked On Mariner postcast. This episode is brought to you by FanDuel. The NFL season is here, and FanDuel has an offer that you will not want to miss. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and you will get $300 back in bonus bets if you win. That's right. You pick a bet, you put down $5, and if it hits, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. So many ways you can get stuff done with FanDuel. So many ways that you can add enjoyment to the game responsibly, of course, but it makes watching football even more exciting when you've got a little something riding on the action, again, responsibly. So whether you're a casual fan or love diving into the stats, FanDuel makes the day experience so much better. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com to download the FanDuel app today and get started. This episode is also brought to you by Gametime. Excuse me, it's brought to you by Prize Picks. This episode, of course, is brought to you by Prize Picks. Why not say it a 5th time? Every day we make decisions, but on Prize Picks, being right can actually get you paid. Don't miss the excitement of this football season with Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Playing Prize Picks is such a fun, simple way to add more excitement to football. You just pick more or less on player projections like Josh Allen's passing yards or Saquon Barkley rushing for a touchdown, and you are in the game. Download the Prize Pick app today and use code LOCKEDONMLB to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONMLB for $50 in lineups after your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Welcome back to the Mariners postcast. Christopher Crawford joined by my good buddy Anderson Hurst. Let's talk about the offense, because let's start with the positive, and then we could build into the negative.
All right.
I thought Big Dumper was good today. I will say, very last at bat of the game, he got a cookie cutter. He got a cookie cutter in the middle of the plate, and unfortunately, he fouls it off. Those situations are amplified. It's really hard to get mad at a guy who has 3 hits, right? It's really hard to say that he's like the reason why the Seattle Mariners only score 2 runs in this game. Julio Rodriguez was fantastic. And seeing that home run, what's funny is his first at bat, I got a little irked because he swings at the first pitch and hits that little chopper, right? Well, he has such a terrific at bat that ends with him keeping his hands in perfectly to line that ball over the fence. And that clutch single, man, you're down 2-1 to dump that ball into right field. That was so big, Anders. Now, I will also point out there was a base running mistake from Julio today. And it's a tough one. It's one that you really got to be aware of, but I think as he gets older, this will be something he's better at. Josh Naylor hits into the double play.
Yeah.
If Julio falls down there or just makes a dead duck, an Oregon duck, if you will, for that play, that's not a double play. And you make the situation 1st and 3rd with 1 out. That was a mistake from Julio Rodriguez. It's still tough to say nothing but positive things about those two, though, Anders.
Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, that you got two guys got hits in a bullpen game. Those were the 2 guys, so it is really hard to kind of blame them. But there are some smaller moments in this game. I didn't like the pinch hit for Victor Robles, Luke Raley coming in. Yeah, it doesn't burn you because he doesn't end up making a mistake in the field or anything. But I still would have probably rather seen Robles offensively too, just based off of how the last of this part of the season went. Gino, and it wasn't one of those days where, number one, you're getting sliced and diced by some amazing pitching on the other side.
No.
But it also wasn't one of those days where you just are having feeble at bat after feeble at bat. There were a lot of lined outs and a lot of warning track outs as well. Randy had one, Eugenio had one. So I'm not saying this is all just terrible. What are these guys doing? They weren't ready to play or anything like that. It's just a couple moments in this game that you weren't able to come up with. And that's what playoff baseball is, man. And unfortunately, the biggest thing I keep pointing to, the difference in the game is the wild pitch from Carlos Vargas. That's what allows the run to score. And I know we're talking offense here, and it sucks to kind of, get only 2 guys getting hits and 3 guys getting on base, because Josh Naylor was the only one that had a walk, I believe.
Rosarena had one too. I was thinking the same thing as you, is that there were just the 3 guys who got on base, but Randy did have one walk. Now, please continue. I'm sorry.
No, it's just, I don't know. There's just a lot of little moments in this game where, George Kirby leaving one up to Carpenter, leaving George Kirby in the game, only allowing Pizarro to pitch for 1 out. Would you have rather gone to Emerson Hancock instead of Carlos Vargas? Because that, I think, was the only other option. A lot of people asked for Bryce Miller, but now that I think about it, you're not, because Brian Woo's out, you have to pitch Bryce Miller and have him ready for game 4. You can't go George Kirby on 3 days rest. So it was either Carlos Vargas, Luke Jackson, or Emerson Hancock. So I don't know, if that's necessarily even a wrong decision at that point.
I don't question the decision to go to Vargas. I question the decisions that lead you to having to go to Vargas.
Yes,
I agree. I probably, honestly, if you weren't going to pull Kirby in that situation against Carpenter, I probably would have let him go another inning. I probably would have let him. He was at 90 pitches. He had 8 strikeouts. The control was good. The biggest question mark, my only real complaint from Big Dumper, I know I just complained a little bit about him missing a middle pitch, but whatever. Why call that fastball again? Why call that fastball again? You had tried it 3 times, and it's a guy who has just really had success against you. And I think if you bury that slider down and in, you're probably getting the K. You probably get the K. Rodney, I completely disagree that he was done. I don't think he was done at all. He gave up one. There was one pitch that was really lined very hard in that game, and it just happened to go over the fence. Anyway, and
even the pitch to Carpenter, it was out of the zone. It wasn't a bad pitch. It was bad sequencing.
It was bad sequencing. That's a great way to put it.
And that's on Cal. That is on Cal. He calls the game. So, I mean, it's just these little moments. So, and I want to know your thoughts, because I kind of noticed this too. It seemed like he was hanging a lot of his breaking balls. They had good movement on them, but he wasn't burying them very much. I saw it once to Riley Green, I believe. But other than that, he was hanging a lot of his sliders and knuckle curves today. And I think that was an issue.
There were some issues there for sure. They were, I wouldn't call any of them like cement mixers or anything like that, but I would say that there was some issues with location at times. Overall, I just have a hard time blaming Kirby for this one.
No.
And you're not. I know you're not. I'm just saying that, I think that George Kirby pitched well enough to win today. I would have liked to have seen more secondary stuff there. And,
I agree.
Some people have brought up that the velocity was down, but the movement on the fastball was still good. It was still good. He made one mistake, and your offense today wasn't even close to good enough to make up for that. Just real quick, there were so many inept offensive performances today.
Yes.
Josh Naylor draws the walk, but he was awful outside of that. Jorge Polanco could not have played a worse baseball game. Dom Canzone could not have played a worse baseball game. Gino made some nice defensive plays.
Yes.
But the at-bats were awful. Awful at-bats, trying to do way too much. Way too much. Luke Raley is a useless baseball player right now, and JP Crawford didn't play a very good baseball game as well. Honestly,
do you think he should have gotten there on the hit against Vargas?
Someone should have knocked that baseball down. Someone should have at least knocked it down and kept the runner at third base. But that and here's the thing, Dan. If you're going to play Polanco at second base and you're going to have pair him with JP Crawford, you probably got to go to Cole Young in the late innings as a defensive replacement.
Cole Young isn't on the roster.
I'm sorry. Excuse me. You're going to have to go with the other guy. You're going to have to go with you're going to have to do that defensive replacement. Maybe Cole Young should be on this roster over Luke Raley as well. Anders, your unsung hero or unsung villain?
Let me think. Unsung hero, that's an easy one. I'll do Gabe Spire. He was awesome.
He was fantastic.
Should have been used in 2 innings earlier.
Yeah.
For me, I don't know. It was just such an obvious situation for him. You're going up against a lefty masher. You're coming up against the end of George Kirby's start. It just hurts. It hurts. And I'm not like, it doesn't look good right now, but
it's not over.
It's not over. No. Like the Mariners have hit Skubal well this whole season, and I know they've only faced him twice, but still, that means something. I'm not saying that they're going to do that tomorrow, but that means something. And they know it's go time because you just can't go 0-2 going into Detroit. You just can't. I'm sorry.
No, you're 100% right, and it's just really tough. The thing that makes it the most scary for me is just because of the fact that they have beaten Skubal twice. The fact that they have gotten to him. It's really hard to beat a pitcher 3 times. It's really hard to beat the guaranteed Cy Young Award winner 3 times especially, but this is just frustrating. This is frustrating because you lost to a worse team.
Yeah.
We'll end the show now. Well, we should end it anyway, honest. This sucks.
It does. Just go get him tomorrow, and this is all forgotten. All right. I don't know if you guys can hear Chris, but we'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Good stuff. Go Mariners.